Hello friends, welcome to the Lead Summer Camp. I am your funky Friday guide from Lead School. Today we are going to learn how to make the Egyptian mummy craft. So, for this activity students, you require first some aluminium foil. This is just plain aluminium foil that you can get in your kitchen. Some tissue paper, any tissue paper will do. Some Fevicol, you can use any other glue if you have it. And lastly, you will require some water. Alright, great. So students, let's take a minute and quickly go and collect all our materials. Keep in mind, the first thing we need is aluminium foil. It can also be in a roll like this, which you may have got in your kitchen. We will need some tissue paper. We will need some water. And lastly, we will need some glue. Great. So while you are collecting the resources, students, let me tell you about the ancient Egyptians. So did you know, students, that the methods of embalming or treating a dead body that the ancient Egyptians used is called mummification? It was important in their religion to preserve the dead body in a lifelike manner as much as possible. Even today, we can view the mummified body of an Egyptian and have a good idea of what he or she looked like in life 3,000 years ago. Great. So students, I hope you have got your materials. Let me quickly remind you, we need aluminium foil, we need some tissue paper, we need Fevicol or any other white glue, and we need some water. Great. Also students, remember that there's a little surprise waiting at the end of this activity. I am going to announce some prizes for you and your school and what you must do to get those prizes. So make sure you watch till the end. So, shall we begin today's activity? Great. Alright students, so I hope you've collected all the items that we need. We needed our aluminium foil, our tissue paper, the Fevicol, the glass of water. Great. So let's begin to make our mummy, right? Ancient Egyptian mummy craft. First thing we are going to do is we are going to crumple up a foil very quickly and we are going to turn it into a small ball. Alright, like this. This is going to be the head of our mummy. Then we will take another piece of foil. Great. And we will fold this slightly in length so that we can make this into the body of the mummy. So I am going to crumple it like this, roll it. All right. And now I am going to fold it in half. So now we have our body. The next thing we need is to make two legs. So let's get some more foil. We can take half of this. Remember students, it's not an exact science, but it's important that we have fun when we are making this activity. So we will take our first piece and we will roll it like this so we can make the legs. We will also roll the second one to make the second leg because human beings have two legs. Okay, fantastic. Now we have to make the arms and the feet. So let's get a piece and we'll divide it into smaller parts because we have to make the arms. Fantastic. Okay, this is the first arm, and then we will take our second, we'll take another piece. And using our second piece, we will make our second arm. Fantastic. So now we have our mummy's head, body, two legs, and two arms. The only thing we need is to make the feet of our mummy. And for this, we will take the last piece of foil and we will fold it in half so that we can create a little piece like this. Then, so students, this is our mummy, right? We have the head, which is over here. We have two arms, which are here. We have the legs, and we have the body. Fantastic. So now what we are going to do, students, is now we need to take the body of our mummy and wrap it in more foil. So let us take out a big piece of foil. Okay? Great. And in this big piece of foil, we are going to put this at the bottom. And we are going to set our mummy on this. So we've got our mummy, the head, the arms. Pull this up a little bit. Then we'll take our legs, two legs, and lastly, the feet of the mummy. So make sure that the body is in position. Make sure all your parts are correctly ready so that we can wrap our mummy up in the aluminium foil. Great. So I am going to wrap it by first taking this and making sure that all the pieces are in the right place, right? Great. Make sure that your legs are also in the right place. All right. And wrap it properly. And there you go. Our mummy is ready. Great. So now that we have prepared our mummy, students, make sure that all the different body parts that we have prepared are clearly visible in the outline. You can see that there we have the head over here, then we have the body, we have the two arms, we have the two legs, and lastly we have our feet. Great. Now what we are going to do, students, is we are going to take our tissue paper. I want you to tear the tissue paper into thin strips. The way we are going to do this is we are going to fold that tissue paper, and then we are going to tear it. We can also use scissors to make the strips properly. Now, as you can see, this strip is not being torn properly, so you can use a different. You tear a different piece, right? Let's tear the pieces. Great. Once we've torn our pieces, make sure that you have something to keep the mummy on. All right. Take your strips of tissue paper, dip them in water, and then wrap it around your mummy. Okay. Slowly, gently wrap the tissue paper, the pieces of tissue paper around the mummy. If some of the pieces were not torn properly, you can use them also. Just dip them in the water and wrap them around the body of the mummy. Take some more pieces, dip it in water, wrap it around the mummy. Alright. Make sure that you are covering the mummy properly with all the different pieces of tissue paper. Right? Fantastic. Let me tear off some more pieces. Fantastic. We're going to put this piece on the face of the mummy. Let us just make sure that it is nicely wet. All right. Great. Remember, students, the ancient Egyptians would use this technique to make sure that the bodies of their kings and queens were preserved for a long time. Take another piece, dip it in some water, and place it on the body of the mummy. Okay. Very good. We take a bigger piece and we are going to wrap it around the body of the mummy over here. Okay, still need to put a few more pieces. Make sure all the parts where you can see the aluminium foil are covered with tissue paper. Okay, I have a few more pieces to cover. And here I'll put some more tissue paper. And right now I have some water on my plate also. So I'll just use this water to make sure that I get all the different parts of my mummy. Amazing. So as you can see, our mummy has been wrapped completely. Let us leave the mummy for a few minutes to just dry up. Great. Alright students, so now our mummy is ready for putting the Fevicol. Right? So take some Fevicol and put it on the mummy. Once you put it, you can use your finger to gently just spread it all over the body of the mummy. Keep in mind, students, that you should be very gentle while doing it. All right. I can see I've put some Fevicol here, putting it here, some more. And I'll spread it gently, making sure all the parts of the mummy are covered. You can put it on the sides. So that all the parts get stuck down nicely. Right, we can put it on the back. And we can gently spread it everywhere so that all the tissue is stuck nicely to the body. All right. Stick it. All right. Great. So once you are done with this, students, leave the mummy to dry for a few hours so that then the mummy is ready for you to play with. Great. All right, students. I hope you had a wonderful time making the mummy with me today. This mummy will be is based on the ancient Egyptian mummies, and this is how the ancient Egyptians would preserve their bodies for years to come. So I would like to give a big thank you to all of you who participated in today's activity. I am now going to tell you about the exciting things that we are going to offer to students who are completing their summer camp. So we are going to be looking at the top 10 schools which show the highest submission of all activities. We are also going to send a participation certificate for students who complete all their activities. All right? Great. So make sure that you share your work with your teachers who will send it to me, and I expect to see many of you sending in your work. Now, before I end this session, I am going to tell you about where you can access all this content on your student app. Apart from this, there are also many other activities that are present on the student app. You have your My Class at Home classes, you have your teacher sending you your classes, you can clarify your doubts, and there are also quizzes that you can participate in. So let's take a look at where we can find this video on the student app. Hello, this is your student app. If we scroll down on the student app, we can see the banner for summer camp. Let's press the banner. Once we enter the summer camp, we'll be able to see the instructions. So we can read the instructions and then press close.
Inside we will see all our activities as they come up on Tuesdays and Fridays. So if I press an activity number, I will be able to see all the information regarding that activity, and I will also be able to watch the video. Once I've completed the activity, I can submit it also on the student app.